3AW is football.
Now the president of the Carlton Football Club joins us, Stephen Kernahan. Welcome to you, Sticks.
Me too. How are you guys?
Very well, very well. It's still raining out there. I believe they've had their wettest month in history up here.
Used
Do you
to
know
rain
that?
in Melbourne all the time, BT, but
Yeah.
it rains up here all the time now.
Gee, the
doesn't
track
it?
looks good though, doesn't it?
Yeah, they trained on it last night and was in great shape considering all the rain, so it's holding pretty well. But looks like it's still raining now.
Just got the team sheet through. I see Chris Yaron's a sub.
He is, yeah. I just got that news myself, BT. Yeah, that's interesting. He hasn't played a lot of footy over the last 3 weeks either, so that's interesting. Mick knows what he's doing with him, and I'm sure he's making the right call.
Long-term plan there, you reckon?
Must be something he's concocting up.
How frustrated are you at the moment? Obviously you love your Blues, but just 6 losses, I think, and all the quality teams, but all tight losses.
5 points, 17 points, 16 points, 9 points, 5 points, 15 points.
Without going backwards, Lloyd, how do you reckon I was after that Essendon game?
Oh,
I mean, I don't reckon I've never had a week as bad as that, I reckon, in a long, long time.
Yeah.
And we've been in winning positions in games and haven't been able to put it away, and that's something we've got to work on. That's the difference between being a good side and making up the numbers, and that's where we've got to get over the line. And we were pretty good against Hawthorn last week. I really thought we played well at Etihad, but still couldn't get the points in the end. And the 2 big blokes up front, they put us away that night, and that's probably what we need to lift an area up forward with the big blokes.
Well, that was going to be my question, Sticks, because your best is very good, and not only matches the good teams, but actually is ahead of the good teams at some times, but then drops away. Is it just a matter of depth? What else do you need to bring into that team to take you up into that top bracket?
After you get over a loss against Hawthorn, I mean, if they're the benchmark and number one, that buoys me a bit that we've got something to work with. I mean, our best is pretty good, not good enough as it's shown so far, but I think we're going to get better. Mick's spoken all year about us being better as the year goes on, and I think that could be right. And a big last 10 games, a lot can happen, so I'll be interested to see who can stand up for us. It'll be interesting.
What about the coaching structure? Is that all settled, or will there be some more changes along the way? Is Mick still looking to add to that? I know that he didn't get everyone that he wanted last year because of contracts underway and people timing not right, etc. Is he still going to be looking for others to assist next year?
Well, look, I haven't spoken to him much about that, BT. I think he's happy with the structure he's got. We had roughly about 11 coaches with Rats in his last year. We've got that back to basically 7. So I don't think he's looking to add to it, but again, he'll be up to Mick later in the year.
Even though you just offered Lingy a job before we went on.
Off here, yes, Caroline. That was private, Caroline.
I'm joking. We've mentioned Mick Malthouse. He was very strong yesterday. Now, I know you don't approve of clubs talking about other clubs, but he was very strong, not so much about Essendon, but calling on the AFL to show leadership. Should the AFL have spoken this week after Joe Watson's comments the other night? Do you support your coach in that?
It's a tough one, Caroline, because we're all sitting here knowing that there's investigations underway and making comments tough. And Mick made a comment about the AFL. I mean, the AFL have been pretty upfront, I would have thought, along the way. I'm not contradicting what Mick said, but Essendon and the AFL and Warner, so they've got to sort all that out. And Mick made a comment. It's a personal thing he mentioned, and I think the AFL have been pretty upfront in everything they've been doing along the way.
We spoke about this earlier in the week, and certainly Mick Malthouse gave you a big endorsement when he took on the job. We thought this was your last year as president, but it now looks as though, for a variety of reasons, a successor has not emerged just yet, and next year's your 150th. Would you like to stay on and lead the club next year?
Maybe, Caroline. I'm not sure. As I said, we've got 10 weeks to go, and at the end of every season, this is why I always say this, at the end of the year, we'll weigh it all up with our board and decide who's going to run the club in the next year.
You've been beating them back with a stick or something.
No, I haven't been. Look, and Caroline, we've got a lot of blokes on our board who can do the job, and the additions we've made have been great. And you're a bit hard on Ahmed the other day. He's been a very smart, clever man. He's been very...
He might be smart and clever, but I don't think he's got a vote on your board. That's my information.
Oh, we'll see. But look, it's all good down there, and at the end of the year, it is a big year, 150th coming up, and we've really been got subcommittees working on it all this year, and it's going to be a lot happening.
If Carlton don't make the 8, would you feel that you should stay on?
I think I'll be tired, Caroline. I mean, look, it's not about me, Caroline. Seriously, at the end of the year, I'm happy with the succession plan. We've been going along with it all year, and we're actually doing stuff behind the scenes that'll sort that out. And again, October, November, I'll let you know.
What about your captain? The last time I saw him, he was in the back of an ambulance, looked very, very sick. How's he travelling now, and how many weeks out for Mark Murphy?
He's here with us, Murph up. He looks pretty good. He's still a bit sore in the mouth, and he's had an operation, obviously. I'd like to think he's right for Collingwood next week, but that might be pushing him. But he's looking okay. He may be right next week, maybe not.
What about the hip and shoulder rule, Sticks? What do you make of it all?
Well, look, that was a beautiful hit, Hodgie. I mean, I loved it. I mean, we wish that's our side
Yeah,
doing that to
yeah.
someone. I mean, Hodgie hit him hard. Murph was a bit open. He didn't quite. Hodgie had a head of steam up, and look at the hip and shoulder. I don't know. I mean, you can't hit him on the head, Lloydie, can you? I understand that, but gee, there's been some harsh penalties for not much. I would have thought.
One more political one from me, and this is not pushing up Richmond, but
No.
they went past 60,000 members on Monday, and of course Collingwood ahead of Richmond, and so are Hawthorn. Why is it that you are 10,000 members behind Richmond and Essendon are slightly ahead of you? I cannot understand, for a football club of your size who's brought in Mick Malthouse, I know they all do the 3 club memberships now. Why is that? What's happened, do you think?
Look, it's a conundrum, and Greg Swan will tell you it's like a thorn in his shoe. We've been trying desperately to get. We've broken our record the last 5 years, and we'll tick over 50,000, I think, very soon, any day now. And,
you know what I
that's
think?
a good thing. What do you think?
Etihad Stadium.
Well, we've been pushing that all year. We want to get back to the G. Our members quite clearly want to get back to the G. I've spoken with Paul Sargent, the Etihad boss. We're going to sit down with him. We finish at the end of the next year, the deal, and we'd rather be 7-4 or 8-3 at the MCG and Etihad. That's where we want to go, and hopefully our members can get on board. But you do need, what I know is, Caroline, you need to be in the top 4 playing grand finals and playing in prelims to really get your membership. That's where I know Richmond haven't.
Richmond have been well behind you. That's why I can't understand
funny
it.
thing is
I
our
think
yield.
the MCG is the difference.
We've got a really good yield. The people, our yield's better than most of those clubs and Richmond's per member. But we do need to get it up, and it's been a big move for us to get to 50,000. That's a good thing, but we need to get more, no doubt.
Sticks, you want to grow that membership, you want to move to the MCG, but you touched there quickly about being a top 4 team as obvious as well to draw the people in. Do you reckon this list, can you see this list being a genuine top 4 premiership contender in the next couple of years, in the time that Mick is probably going to be coaching at the footy club?
Well, I think that's why he's here, and that's why we're here, to make sure we can get in the top 4. We're still planning hard for that. Whether we're good enough is the question. Our list has deficiencies. Everyone's looking for a big bloke down back and a big bloke up forward. If some of our blokes can jump out, we'll have changes at the end of the year. I'm sure Mick will make changes. So we'll see where we go from there. But we're aiming. We need to play finals and keep moving forward.
Would you be in the market for Buddy Franklin?
No one can afford him, Caroline. How do you fit him? We'll have to get rid of
He
10
might take a
10
bit
blokes
less to
get
play
him
with
in.
you blokes.
No, well, why would he leave Hawthorn, Caroline?
Well, that's what I think, but it
Why
looks
would he
like he
leave?
might. What about Daisy Thomas, who's a free agent at the end of the year?
Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it. He knows Swanee fairly well, and he knows Mick. And that's going to, the next few months, that'll hot up. But that's something our list management have got to look at, and that'll be up to those blokes. I'll back him up whatever way they go, Caroline.
Good luck tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Steve
Thanks,
Kernahan,
Steve.
the
Thanks,
president
Steve.
of the Carlton Football Club.
3AW is football.